What is up? So, whatever happened to those Illinois craft grow licenses, right? Well, or the dispensary licenses. Those ones stopped after they just delivered the winners. They never even got to the winners of the Illinois ones. There was a lawsuit. It's no longer really going. And that's what we're going to be talking today. We're going to be updating the Illinois craft growers and the lawsuit of the Illinois Craft Cannabis Association versus the state of Illinois and J.B. Pritzker on a very special episode. Hello, my name is Tom. My law firm's a Collateral Base, and I exclusively do cannabis and hemp a lot. So now we're going to talk about something that is kind of interesting. It's called fabricating evidence. And fabricating evidence can sometimes be done, especially if you are the state. And they kind of did that in the disposition of the Illinois Craft Cannabis Association versus the state of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, the Department of Agriculture. And again, it's not fabricating evidence. But this case was filed back in October when they did a writ of mandamus action. Then a writ of mandamus action on this just basically means release the scores and tell us who won. And that's when the state updated, and by the state, I referred to the Illinois Department of Agriculture, updated its website, and they kind of punted on several issues like, oh, you're going to be able to relocate your facility. And then also, you don't have to have the 10 full-time employees, just hire them back after you've won. But also, we're not done scoring the applications, so we can't release the scores. And as this litigation wore on, Illinois evolved on its disaster proclamation that J.B. Pritzker has, so that additional things were added to the most recent executive order. And so we're going to be able to look into our crystal ball being this executive order right here, which came out on December the 11th and is valid until January 9th, for being how and when Illinois will release the winners of the craft grow licenses, but also how it also created facts that they needed to be able to prove victorious in this writ of mandamus action, where it says right here, Plaintiff Illinois Craft Cannabis Association's motion for a writ of mandamus is denied. And then it goes on and explains why the writ of mandamus was denied. So the test, not the test, when I think of scores, I think there's a test. And the only test we've really learned is that states have no business scoring cannabis applications. They really don't. Irregardless, they do. And so there's this litigation. And so this litigation wound up because as they were attacking the emergency powers of the governor and other things, they would renew the executive order that they have that has kind of like kept a lot of the restaurants closed and social distancing and all those other policies. And so they go over these arguments and whatnot. And then over here on page 3, they have these other executive orders that they aren't executive orders. They're provisions, they're whereas, they're recitals. And these recitals said that the Department of Agriculture has been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic to such an extent that it has reduced its capacity to be able to establish who has won the craft grower licenses. And so it can continue to be delayed until that power in JB's, by JB, I mean the Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's executive orders has finally expired. That probably won't happen for a while because now they have these other departments coming in besides just the executive itself. They have the executive, like in the healthcare agencies, so it's becoming more constitutional. The challenges to the governor's executive orders have just failed in the courts, and this one is now being used to frustrate the craft growers. And so this executive order extends until January 9th, at which time I expect this executive order will be renewed for another 30 days, and then it'll expire, February 8th, and it'll be renewed for another 30 days. So it'll expire March 9th or something like that. That's when we'll really know. All right. So now that you have the vaccine that's out there, Perhaps they are actually going to rescore, or they're still scoring the craft grower apps. Perhaps not. I'm not sure. I don't have that inside information. But until and unless that executive order is gone, and the state, including the Department of Agriculture, that is awarding these licenses, same with the IDPFR, like, I haven't gotten 10-day notice one of the rescore that's purportedly going to happen. When's those coming? I don't know. Give us some thumbs ups if you know. We're getting no thumbs up on that one because no one knows. And now, as we have this executive order that's just kind of there, and it's been established and validated in courts, I think it's just going to be there until COVID ain't a thing and the state can open back up, and then they can get back to working on who actually won these licenses. And then there's probably going to be a delay in the second round. There's no way they're going to make this second round by December of 2021. No way. And as soon as that executive order is expired, and it looks like it's just going to be renewed every 30 days until COVID's gone, maybe then we'll know who won cannabis licenses in the state of Illinois. Still be on the lookout for your 10-day notice if you're a dispensary application. Yeah, this really kind of stinks, but Happy New Year.